What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Arena of Valor esports video, and we are gonna be continuing with Game 6 of HKA going up against BRU United Esports here. We have a Richter ban coming out instantly by HKA, a Florentino ban coming out by BRU after they lost the previous game with that Florentino, so they will have to ban it quite often here. And with that Zip ban, we have no Dirak ban, okay? So I think HKA can easily pick up a Dirak here, and they definitely will. 100% they need that Dirak, and we'll see if they will be able to win with that broken hero and equalize the series to a 3-3. They are hovering the ATA. This is of course Game 6. This is the most exciting draft of the series because with Game 7, the draft gets reset, right? As we learned in that one Game 7, in that previous Game 7 series. And yeah, with ATA being one of the remaining Slayer laners / supports, it is a very nice pickup here for the first pick. It completely, just BRU is very limited in their choices right now. They are really struggling here already. And we have, of course, Roxie still remaining. There it is. We have a Kilgrove still remaining, right? We have a Kilgrove still remaining for BRU United Esports. So I'm not sure why they didn't pick up that. I think Kilgrove is a very strong pick. But we have the Roxie coming in instead. And we'll see what else they pick here. The Darcy for that jungle position, I assume. It can also go mid. But yeah. We'll see. There isn't really a lot of AD mid laners left for NuNu, so because if they would go triple mage with that Roxie being very magic damage focused as well, it would be a little bit too much magic damage. So I don't think we will see this Darcy in the jungle. I think we will see him in the mid lane. And Darcy in the mid lane, I'm not a huge fan of. I just think it's better in the jungle. Kilgrove already picked by HKA, and that is why they picked the Roxie, because now HKA, if BRU picked Kilgrove, now HK could just pick Roxie and it's okay. It's a good matchup for Roxie, it's fine. But now they have nothing to pick. We have a Krixi coming out here by HKA. Where is the Dirak? Huh? Are you serious? Maybe Krixi wasn't picked yet by... No, mate, they already picked ours. That is just absolutely crazy. And we have a Varus coming out. That blows my mind right now. Where is the Dirak? Is the Dirak gonna be a support? That is the question. I think Dirak can be a support here, okay? For HKA's roster. I think you can put a marksman in the jungle now with that Lindis. I definitely expect a Lindis ban to come out. No, they already picked Lindis. So what is going on? I definitely expect a Lindis ban coming out from HKA, by the way. Maybe a Slims ban coming out by BRU, because I'm just really confused what they are trying to do here. Yeah. Why would you not pick Dirak? Blows my mind. That is a huge mistake in my opinion, at least. We don't know what their coach is thinking, but we have Violet coming out by NuNu. That can of course go jungle, that can go side lane. We've even seen it mid lane, okay? I would like to see Violet mid lane with the Darcy in the jungle. I think that's the best option here for BRU, because Violet mid lane can easily lane against Krixi. And yeah, it's just very nice of a pick. We have a Kilgrove ban coming out. They're afraid of that, as I said, Roxie in that Abyssal Dragon lane and then Kilgrove Slayer lane. So I really like that ban by HK, but they have to watch out because you can still have a Lindis. This BRU draft is amazing right now because they have so many options to flex these heroes. Meanwhile, HKA, you know, Krixi can only go mid lane. That's the only role she can go to. The other two can be flexed, but we've seen Varus in the jungle just not performing well at all this tournament. Was picked twice and just completely was useless. So we have a Volcaf ban coming out and a Yorn ban. Of course, HKA, not many marksmen left on their side. And the Yorn is actually really strong. You pick up that Purify and you suddenly counter Roxie ult and the Darcy ult, and at that point, what is the enemy team gonna do? You just burn down everyone so easily on the enemy roster. We have a Krixi ban being hovered. I definitely agree with this. They It's one of the strongest supports left. It definitely would have been first picked by BRU right here. But we'll see what they pick up. This is a very interesting draft. I love these these 6 games. Just such a nice draft always coming out with so many crazy picks. We've always seen Zephys, it seems like, in game 6. Now let's see what BRU picks up here. Because they, of course, still need a support. That is something they definitely do not have. And yeah, we might see double marksman as well coming out by them. But for now, they need a support. And if they only pick a support here, they still can flex everything. So I would like to see that. And we have it coming out. And not only do they seem to be picking a support, they seem to be picking a flexible support as well that also counters the Darcy. So I think HKA could have been able to pick up that support. And again, Chaugnar can also go into lane. He can even go mid lane. So that is absolutely a hilarious draft by BRU here. I'm really a huge fan of it. And again, what kind of junglers are left? Zephys gets countered by Chaugnar, that ult. Wisp is going to be hovered here for the marksman pick. Zephys gets locked in. And again, this Wisp, let me just scroll down a little bit here. This Wisp is of course not optimal at all, but we've seen Wisp do incredibly well. However, against Roxie, it's gonna be difficult. Yeah, Hayate is more like it. I definitely prefer the Hayate here because he goes for Purify intrinsically as well. So that is inherently, excuse me. And yeah, against Darcy, that is always good to have. Against Roxie, it is just a very happy Hayate pick. Yeah, no Dirak coming out. Yeah, HKA never picked Dirak, I'm pretty sure. So they just were able to pick Dirak this last game and they just didn't do it. So we have a Hayate in that Abyssal Dragon lane, Zephys in the jungle, and the last pick seems to be a bit late pick. It is gonna be an Ignis. Now that is of course a very decent pick against Ata, against Varus. However, I'm not sure what to say about it. I'm not sure what to say. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of Lindis here. Again, that's exactly what I said. Put that Violet into the mid lane. That's exactly what I said, guys. Put the Violet mid lane, Chaugnar support, and yeah. Never mind, we have, I'm so stupid. We have a Violet in the lane and of course Darcy in the mid lane. We can't have Lindis and the Darcy jungling. So yeah, I would have liked Violet mid lane, honestly. I would have liked the Lindis in that maybe even Abyssal Dragon lane and the Darcy in the jungle instead, but of course F1 is one of the best Lindis players, so that is just a more optimal solution there than putting it on 007X. Of course, he's an amazing Lindis player, by the way, too. Back in the days when he jungled, he used to be a jungle main. Yeah, so the game is starting and this might be the last game again, just like the previous two, of course, with BRU every time on match point. The previous two they weren't able to win, and now Violet is clearing that mid lane with her Darcy there. Very nice, of course. This is the strategy that comes out very often. And we have that Ata as a support. He can play very aggressively early game. Oh my goodness, this Krixi just flickers, but that is just a huge mistake. What is he doing there? He just flickers in, knocks up, but just completely suicides there. And now this Ata seems to be dropping dangerously low as well. He's able to get away. That was just a crazy play by that Lindis, by that Krixi, man. I have no idea what he was thinking. I guess he didn't see. I mean, you have to know they're doing blue buff, no? I mean, it's in the push. It's not down. You know, you can see it on the minimap that it's not down, and you don't see it on your screen. Okay, so it must be in the push being taken down by at least one enemy member. And if you just flicker into that, that is insane. That is an insane gameplay there. But yeah, we have Zephys already clearing his jungle, already very, very nice, in a very good position, has that mid lane control, has that Spirit Sentinel control, and seems to be trying to go for a top lane gank. He's squeezing behind enemy vision, and now this Violet is in a huge pinch here. She dodges away from the ult, but that is just way too many members of HK coming in, and Violet ends up dropping. Very well played. Seems like we will have a very close game once again. That's going to be very fun, just like the last one. And yeah, that Zephys is just going to secure that Spirit Sentinel right now for him, but meanwhile Buriram just completely burns down that Abyssal Dragon super fast with Darcy, and the Lindis just just beating it down there very easily. Lindis of course does a decent amount of damage if she abuses that little bush there to take down the Abyssal Dragon. And yeah, we have Varus laning against that. Ooh, we actually have a Hayate in the Slayer lane going up against the just both marksmen in the Slayer lane. This is very interesting to see. Of course, I think they wanted the Hayate can't lane against Violet, I believe, because he S1s and she just dodges it with her S1 and then just punches him into the face for a lot of damage, okay? And that is why they wanted to swap that, and now they're re-swapping it, okay? So it seems like we will have one of those games where both teams just keep swapping their side laners. But of course, the team that follows up on the swaps is always going to be a little bit ahead, right? Because they can stop the swaps and try to pressure the enemy so they can't swap away whenever they want, and then the matchup is already going for a minute or something and they're winning, and then the enemy swaps and then just swap right away. So that is very definitely in Buriram's favor here, because they have the winning matchup in that case, right? That's pretty much how these swap games go. And look at this Lindis just completely clowning on this. Ooh, beautiful with that last ultimate. I really didn't think he would die because he had that shield after the Arctic Orb. I think a good way to nerf Arctic Orb enchantment would be to not have it have that shield, because that shield is really broken. I get why they put it onto Arctic Orb, the item, because the Arctic Orb item wasn't purchased enough, and now it's really, really strong. But it's fine to have an OP item for a couple weeks / months, but on that enchantment that was already OP. Look, this Violet is almost able to get away because of that shield there. Without it, she would have just instantly died to Ata. And now Ata, ooh, huge CC coming out onto this Chaugnar. When his ultimate is down, when his S1 is down, it's very easy to catch him out like that. Very well played by Abao here on his Ata. I really am a huge fan of Ata. This is not a good Darcy ult, because against Zephys it just doesn't do much. You just don't do enough damage. Zephys is just really incredibly tanky. And yeah, we have the Abyssal Dragon being controlled by both teams here. Has played Krixi the most in APL 2028 times, so maybe it is just his main hero, man. That's why he picked it up here instead of that Dirak. But I think HKA Easy played very well in Dirak as well in previous games in the group stages. So I feel like that would have been a very nice pick coming out as well for him. We have Abyssal Dragon just being taken down. Duo takedown there by Violet and Chaugnar. Chaugnar tanking it and Violet just securing it with that ultimate. Of course, it does more damage than the punish at this point. It does like 2k damage to the Abyssal Dragon. It's just what it is. She can definitely control that objective very well. And right now we have everyone in the mid lane. Ata uses his ultimate defensively, doesn't want his team to get run down there, and they all just retreat. HK completely on their back foot here. 1k gold advantage, by the way, for Buriram coming in. Meanwhile, Roxie gets ganked but just ults and runs away and heals a bunch with her little fire ground thingy. With that passive, right, that it heals you whenever you have... Ooh, but she ends up dropping anyway. She ends up getting killed off camera. We didn't see how that happened, but I guess she just tried to clear the wave and got ulted by Zephys. And without her ult, she just dies there. Very well played by HKA, gets some return kills. Manages to even out the gold lead a little bit. Gets that top lane tower as well. And this seems to be pretty even right now. Again, just a very nice even game. We have Fafnir coming out by Hayate already, so that's his first power spike. He's going to be very happy with that. And he seems to be going for a Frost Cape or a Hyogas. I would prefer Hyogas here because the enemies have a ton of magic damage. And Frost Cape only gives you armor, whereas Hyogas gives you both. Huge Roxie ult coming in onto Zephys. Zephys just uses Arctic Orb after Darcy ult hits him. And suddenly Buriram is on their back foot because they used a Darcy ult and a Roxie ult. Only onto Zephys. I mean, Roxie ult is single target, so of course, but the Darcy ult is AoE, and it was only used on Zephys to try to secure him, but he had that Arctic Orb, so that completely purifies that as well. And yeah, just very nice play for HKA here once again, because they didn't use their ultimates, they're very healthy right now, and they can just go for that bot lane push. But Varys is just getting clowned right now by this Lindis, so much damage coming in. NuNu flickers in, and yeah, he's just gonna pull back. Nice, very well played. He's able to get that ult perfectly timed after the Arctic Orb, and like Varys ulted away, but it wasn't fast enough. He was just faster with his ult and is able to pick her up there. Very interesting. Flicker Darcy is very potent. I definitely underestimated Darcy mid lane up to this point, because of course Flicker is very, very potent on that hero. You can flicker in ult, and that is very unexpected. And yeah, and now BRU completely getting control of this game. Summer ends up dropping, but they get this Slayer, they secure it. Very close though, very risky play, but it seems like it's worth. And this Chaugnar just runs away. Mr. Elefanto is not gonna die today. Seems like, yeah, seems like he is a very happy elephant right there. He's able to use his ult to escape. And this is a very nice swing for BRU. They are 2k gold ahead all of a sudden, after the gold lead was dwindling a little bit for them, after HKA was getting some nice macro plays there onto that top lane tower and onto that Roxie. And now all of a sudden we have BRU in a huge lead again, but that Slayer was very, very risky. We have Ata dropping, getting caught, huge Zephys ult completely blowing out two of the enemy carries there, the Lindis and I believe the Violet as well died there, and they are able to pick up the third carry, the Darcy in the mid lane as well at the end of that. And now we have just, yeah, a huge gold swing again for HKA, and it is only a 1k gold lead, so this is a super even game. So we have a very interesting game once again. And keep in mind guys, Hayate, you saw how much damage he did that team fight, right? They have Hayate and Zephys ult, the combo, right? It does so much damage if Zephys can hit two enemies. And that's exactly what he did there. He hit two enemies, he S2'd both of them, both the two marksmen, and the Hayate was able to ult on top of them, and that is just insta-death for them. And we have Chaugnar getting caught, but he does not care, man. Mr. Elefanto uses his ult, turns on the shower onto him, and of course, listen guys, water and an elephant, you already know, man. We all knew water, elephants are water Pokemon. I mean, for real, the only elephant in Pokemon is a water Pokemon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so what can I say? It's very obvious. He pops his ult. He was in the river as well. That's already way too broken anyway. And we have Darcy, of course, building his items very well here. Oh my god, has an Orb of Magi. What am I seeing, guys? They are playing so safe with these item builds. I really don't like that item, especially on Darcy. You kind of wanted the Apocalypse first item, but I guess not, because we have Ata dropping there. Way too much damage coming in from especially this Lindis and the Violet right now. Especially Lindis though. Lindis is so fed. F1 is playing one of his main heroes, and he is playing it out of his mind right now. He's just playing so well, even trumping the performance of Shaolin last game. Seems like Lindis is a very, very strong hero in general, huh? It's really funny how these games have these themes, you know? We had Elsu picked by one team, completely smurfing. Next game, Elsu once again being picked, completely smurfing. Then the next game, we have a Lindis being picked, smurfing hard. And then next game again, the other team picking up Lindis. So far, smurfing hard once again. 3k gold lead for BRU, very nice for them, despite being down in kills. F1 picks up that enemy blue buff, and look at these health bars of the enemies of the HKA roster. They are just dwindling so fast to this DPS of Darcy, Lindis and Violet. Just way too much damage on these three carries right now. Well, on Darcy not too much, because of his Orb of the Magi build. No Apocalypse coming out. I don't know, man. I will upload a Darcy mid lane gameplay, I guess, for you guys, because Darcy seems to be very popular amongst you, so we can showcase that with a build that I think is better. But yeah, Orb of the Magi, what can I say, man? no one buys it in solo ranked, okay? No one should buy it, and these pros definitely don't buy it in solo ranked. Only in competitive, where they feel like the game will go long. And this game is going pretty long, so it was worth it in the end. And yeah, we have Summer getting dropped there, getting caught there by the entire HKA roster. So that is a dead Roxie for 25 more seconds because she does not have Endless Cycle. And now this Ata is scouting out Vision along with his Zephys. HKA is still in a very good spot here, but however, look at this, man. The Darcy has 6.6k gold. Meanwhile, Lindis has 10k gold. She has more than 2.5 times the gold of Ata right now. That is crazy, man. That is just absolutely insane. And also 2k gold ahead of the Hayate, which is the most richest member on the enemy team. Just, guys, that is just absolutely insane. That's just stupid how much damage this Lindis does. But we had a huge Hayate ult, but with this Lindis just nuking everyone. When these auto attacks become literal nukes, you know, it's not. It feels like a tool and ult hitting you, you know, that Lindis auto attack. At that point, you already know that is a very difficult game for HKA to play here. This Lindis is incredibly strong right now. She even sold her jungle item for Omni Arms, but right as I'm saying that, the Zephys, who has 2k gold less, one-shots her. That's how this matchup goes. Zephys is a huge Lindis counter and is playing it very, very well, this Zephys. He is playing it superbly well, just incredible Zephys gameplay. Right now, he was the reason they won that previous team fight as well, with that Hayate and his ult on top of Violet. And ooh, he goes back in onto NuNu here, does so much damage, and the Lindis is not enough. Again, just huge team fights coming out by HKA on the back of that Zephys. He's just playing out of his mind right now. Misses that ult because she flickered away. But again, doing so much damage. However, now he overextended, gets caught, and now this enemy team is without their Zephys, which is of course going to be very difficult to win right now because, yeah, they have to wait 30 seconds for the Zephys to respawn. I feel like he has Endless Cycle available, but is not using it explicitly. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe he used it already in that last team fight. He has a very tanky build. I'm not a fan of this. I think he should go squishier. I think he should at least go for Omni Arms and a rank breaker. I get the Leviathan, that's fine. That's completely fine, that's good. I get the Gaias, that's good as well. Once again, a lot of magic damage on the enemy team. However, I'm not a huge fan of the Frost Cape and Spear of Longinus combo. I think much better would have been a rank breaker and an Omni Arms because it provides much more burst for Zephys right here. And at that point, he just deals, he just definitely one-shots the Lindis and the Violet, no matter what they do, no matter at what point in the game. So that would be much more useful, I think, for his game. We have Ata just using his ult, but takes so much damage in return. Has to go back to that jungle or to that bottom lane to clear, but to use his grey health to heal back up. But he is not in range of those camps or the lanes, so he has to go back to regenerate his health. And now this enraged Abyssal Dragon is of course going to burn down instantly to this Lindis Violet combo. Again, the double marksman coming out by BRU this time. And we have a Slayer being started, but no double marksman means it is a very slow Slayer. Also, Hayate wasn't in the position to get it, so we seem to have kind of a miscommunication. I'm not sure what Hayate's position was before that, but I feel like he could have been at the Slayer faster. So yeah, they don't get that Slayer in return. And now we have BRU in a very nice lead because I think they can just secure this Slayer. They have a 4k gold lead, almost 5k, closer to 5k than 4k actually. So they are just in a very comfortable position. But in the late game, well, I mean, Lindis falls off in the late game, but at that point, 0007X will be at max items on his Violet. And at that point, she just hard carries. And I think she out carries the Hayate even, which of course, Hayate can be the strongest late game marksman, but it always depends on the team fight. It's a very team fight specific. Sometimes he can get a great ult and just completely out damage even a Lavil, even a Kethany, even both of them combined with his true damage, but sometimes he can't. And this Varys wasn't able to get her passive on in time, Otherwise, she would have healed a lot there. She would have hit 4 people there with her passive, would have healed to full HP, but gets dropped by a beautiful crit by Lindis. So just huge damage numbers coming in for the side of, yeah, this Lindis, man, is just hard carrying. You can see, actually, she didn't sell her jungle item. That was rubbish. That was my bad. She still has it. I thought she sold it for Omni Arms because it wasn't on that most right position there. But yeah, we have an Atta wall coming in, not doing too much, but the Zephys ult did so much. The enemy marksmen are so low. Krixi gets taken down now. So while that was a 4v5 teamfight without Varus, they almost were able to pick up that Lindis kill and that Violet kill. And at that point, this would have been game over, I believe, even for the side of HKA. But they weren't able to. They survived with like 10% HP, and the game gets turned around again because the Krixi gets taken down and they get a Slayer. Now we have, of course, still endless cycles remaining on Violet and Lindis, I believe. So that is going to be very difficult to even, yeah, just get this comeback, because you will have to not only one-shot them once, but twice, okay? So that's going to be a huge issue. We have Dark Blessing on Lindis, we have Blade of Eternity on both of them. Actually, not on Violet. Do we have it? Let's see. No, she does not have Blade of Eternity, but still, there's just so many Blade of Eternities on this BRU roster. Darcy has one, and the Lindis has one, and I believe Violet will have one soon, so it seems very much like a lost game for HKA here. Seems to be just the advantage is way too big for BRU right now. They have the jungle control as well, they have the river control, they control literally the whole map, except for HKA's base, of course, and they will get these tier 2 towers very soon as well. Meanwhile, Roxie gets completely caught, but gets a huge rock shield there, beautiful by that Roxie. And yeah, Roxie with rock shield, you know, Roxie, rock shield. You already know, boys. Hey, if it's in your name, you gotta buy it. That's what it is. Hey, what can I say? Not much. Anyway, we have, of course, for sure, increased healing enchantment coming out by Roxie as well. With all that healing she gets from her S1 passive and from that rock shield as well, the shielding, and the S2 shield as well. That is just a really nice enchantment. And the Desperate Duel healing as well. It is. I will play Roxie for you guys as well very soon. Seems like a very fun hero with sprint. We'll try it, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a good game there and showcase the best build which these pros are using. And we have the Abyssal Dragon taken down by Lindis right now. She gets the Dark Blessing buff once again, and they are just insanely juiced right now. I think that they can just, I mean, they can just completely blow this HK roster out of the waters right here. It definitely seems like this game will conclude this best of 7. So far at least, but we've seen both of these teams throw countless times, so yeah. Darcy finally got his, see, Darcy sold his Orb of Nike. Like, why do you buy that item? It is so garbage early game. It's all about mid and late game where it's stacked and then it's a strong item, but then late game you sell it anyway for something like a Blade of Eternity or for something like a Holy of Holies. So what's the point really? It just isn't worth, in my opinion. But yeah, what can I say? Anyway, we have Darcy. Ooh, getting Dove here gets completely shut down. Very well played by this Hayate and Zephys. However, they get followed up. And where is that HK follow-up? It is way too late. Now both get taken down, and this is just a huge disaster for HKA coming in now. Because not only do they lose both their members, they also lost the Blade of Eternity on both their members, and the Endless Cycles get used. So I'm pretty sure no more Endless Cycles for both of them. And yeah, just I think no more Endless Cycles in general for HKA, because Krixi was inting a lot. So she probably used a lot of them. So yeah, I don't know what to say. This is just not a good situation for HKA, but this is the ridiculousness of this game, okay? They got taken down. If they didn't take them down, if they let them live but with very low HP, HKA wouldn't get this Slayer. But because they instantly respawn with Endless Cycle, they get the Slayer, and all of a sudden they're winning the game. That's how ridiculous Endless Cycle is and how bad it is for the game. But it is what it is. I mean, you can always play around anything that is broken, so they could have played around it and let HKA be alive, but we have a huge team fight breaking out. Hayate completely taking down this Darcy and Lindis. However, Lindis had Blade of Eternity available. If she didn't, that would have been a very nice game. And yeah, she picks up, I mean, that would have been a very nice teamfight victory for HKA. And now Lindis is just in the enemy jungle. She is just completely gonna one-shot this Krixi here. Krixi is gonna use her S2. Hits. Oh my god, Krixi gets the kill onto Roxie there. Huge mistake coming out by Roxie. That is gonna be a 50-second Bev timer for Roxie, which is just so unfortunate, man. Why does he run back in there? That was so stupid, and he almost was able to pick up Lindis as well. That would have been insane. And you can see Roxie only has... Roxie sold 2 items and she just bought a Holy of Holies. What is he doing, man? 1 and 6. Oh, that is tilting, guys. That is a tilter, man. He seems to be completely tilted. I don't know what he's doing. He sold 2 items to buy a Holy of Holies and now he doesn't have a Blade of Eternity. That is hilarious, man. That's just hilarious. He seems to be incredibly tilted after that death there to that Krixi. And yeah, HKA again controlling that mid lane because Roxie doesn't have Endless Cycle available. They have a huge bot lane wave pushing as well. It seems like Zephys is already rotating to try to catch somebody out. Violet sniffs it out though and rolls away in time. And now we have that mid lane tower definitely going down here. And ooh, that was a little bit of a bad Ata ult. If he ulted it a little bit more right, he would have caught that Chaugnar incredibly well and they would have just gotten a free kill because he doesn't have flicker, he doesn't have any movement abilities to run through that wall or something or jump over it. So yeah, we have the enraged Abyssal Dragon being pulled out by HKA here. We'll definitely have to see how HKA fights this next team fight because their plan is very obvious. They want this Zephys to jump onto the Lindis and the Violet. As long as BRU prevents that from happening, it is a very nice game for them. It is a very easy teamfight victory for them. And we have Krixi using her ult already. Of course, it's not too big of a cooldown, so it's not a big deal. Chaugnar getting his teleport stopped though, so he's very low HP right now. I think HK will pull the trigger on this Slayer right now and they will just get it. And they are already on it. Very beautiful. Meanwhile, Roxie is trying to get a flank here. Look at this Roxie's position. If this Krixi gets called out, it is game over, I think. Krixi gets flickered on by the Darcy and gets taken out, exactly as I'm saying. And now Krixi is respawning but instantly gets taken out. They completely overextended. However, look at this Hayate's position. He uses Drake top as well, but is not able to get the Lindis just rotates way too fast. But they get this tower. Very nice. Very nice for... And look at this HKA rotation. They instantly rotate to the Abyssal Dragon and they try to start it off, but not... they don't have enough damage right now with the Hayate being too far away. And we have BRU following up in time. And now this is just going to be absolutely crazy. Hayate gets caught and that's probably game over right now. I don't think he gets away here. And yeah, he gets killed. If he doesn't have Endless Cycle, this is probably game over. Huge mistake coming in by Hayate. Very unfortunate, man. You don't want to see games end like that with such a stupid mistake. But it seems to be what's happening. Violet with the Dark Blessing. They finally give it to Violet instead of Lindis. Because, of course, Violet is much more useful at this point. I think the last one should have gone to Violet as well. But I believe it still went to Lindis. So, yeah. Violet is going to be much easier to dodge that Zephys ult as well than a Lindis, so it's just much easier for Violet to play this against his enemy team in team fights. And of course she also outdamages Lindis at this point, especially when sieging towers because there's no bushes nearby. Now we have Violet just poking this tower, exactly what she wants to do. Oh my god, way too much tower damage coming in. Violet can just outrange these towers of course and just take them down. And this is exactly what we're seeing here. She wants to auto attack. Look at this, man. She just look at this, man. That was like 15% tower health left, and it's just 2 rolls, 4 auto attacks, and it's gone. Look at this. Way too much damage coming in by Violet. This is such... I feel like it's an underrated hero because these teams aren't really picking it up anymore. But countless times we see teams struggling against a Dirak, against a lot of wave clear like Preta and stuff when pushing these base towers. And the Violet can just easily do that because Dirak sets up his wall for the minion wave. But the minion wave is gone, his wall is gone, and now Violet just backdoors it. It's crazy. So yeah, definitely seems a little bit underrated. We have Violet trying to poke this Zephys a little bit, huge damage coming in onto this tower, and again, HKA needs to engage. They need to engage. I know there's an Raged Abyssal Dragon buff on the enemies. They do more damage, but you still need to engage somehow. You need to burn down this Violet because she is just getting your tier 3 tower here, and the Slayer is spawning very soon. I believe they have to fight for it. I think they might be very lucky, and the timing is in a way that the Enraged Abyssal Dragon buff will expire. Yeah, it just expired, and now the Slayer is spawning. Seems like my intuition was right there, that it was expiring soon, and very lucky for HK because now they can fight this team fight. Chaugnar gets completely caught, but I don't think he cares because he has has Endless Cycle. It has respawned. His Blade of Eternity was used. What he should have done there is he should have just inted and opened the shop and sold his Blade of Eternity. So it doesn't go on cooldown. That would have been the pro player play there. Unfortunately, we don't see that coming out of him. But huge team fight loss for HKA. Seems like they are just getting completely burned down by this Violet Lindis combo. Just way too much damage coming in. And yeah, Varus doesn't have Endless Cycle available. I believe she is just gonna, seems like BRU is just gonna win this game now. Drake pushing down top. They will get triple minions in the mid lane, triple super minions in the mid lane very soon after you get that third tower. And at that point, what are you gonna do as HKA? You have very decent wave clear with that Hayate, admittedly, okay? That is insane wave clear with the true damage against his minions. Just completely burns through them. So, ooh, huge team fight coming in by Zephys. Wait, I need to see that again. I wasn't paying attention to his positioning. Was he in that bush there waiting? Yeah, that is such a nice trap. I love this bush trap. You camp that bush and it is such an unexpected trap. And look at this now. Just insane S1 flicker by Ata coming in onto Violet, and she just ends up dropping. However, this Zephys ends up dropping as well. He doesn't have Endless Cycle available, it seems like, and they still lost that fight because they were only able to pick off one of the enemy marksmen and not the Lindis as well. And Lindis had some bushes nearby, so she is able to dish out a ton of damage despite being a late game Lindis, which of course falls off very hard, as we mentioned numerous times. And now we have Violet actually selling her Blade of Eternity for a rank breaker. So that is going to be the maximum, or one of the maximum damage builds coming out by Violet. If she crits now, she's just going to one-shot every squishy, so that's going to be ridiculous. So yeah, we'll see if she's going to be able to. Also, I believe Armor Pierce works against towers a little bit, but I'm not sure. Maybe not, maybe not. I think they fixed that like 2 years ago. But back then, I remember Violet just going full Armor Pierce build, okay? With the Rank Breaker and the Muramasa, I believe as well, with the Omni Arms and the Soul Reaver and the Fenrir's, and she would just backdoor towers like no other. It was ridiculously broken, and yeah, she would just literally, I don't know, man, like five rolls and the towers is gone without minions. Crazy. Anyway, we have a huge team fight actually breaking out. HKA going deep here, and the flicker coming out by Krixi, but she just does no damage. What is Easy doing? I don't know. To me, it's obvious Krixi does not have enough damage late game to one-shot Violet, in my opinion. That does not happen, especially with enemies around her, where the Krixi ult gets, not everything jumps onto the Violet. So what are you gonna do, man? That was just a terrible flicker once again. It seems like Easy is just choking hard here this game, and yeah, dead for another 20 seconds. The enemies have an Enraged Abyssal Dragon buff. This Varus gets completely caught. Varus completely useless this tournament so far. I'm really not impressed. Zephys tries his best, but it does not matter. It seems like this will be the end of the road for HKA in this tournament. BRU completely wipes the team fight there, wipes the floor with HKA, and yeah, just huge. I was very glad that we got two very exciting games at the end, and we can finally start off the APL 2020 Grand Final, which is of course gonna be between Flash Wolves and this Buriram United Esports roster. So that will be very exciting to check out. Of course, I already got spoiled, I know who wins, but I don't know how the games actually go, how the draft goes, so that will be very fun to check out. And yeah, huge games coming out. We want to see the MVP, of course. I think it will definitely be either Violet or Lindis. That is just Lindis. F1 played a phenomenal game, it seems like. Man, these series are so focused around the marksman, players of both teams, and yeah, the Lindis just shining so bright in this game right now. Absolutely crazy. Last game coming in here, 30-minute juicer. Very enjoyable to watch. Let's see the damage numbers though. Definitely Violet is gonna be probably more than Lindis even. Yeah, Violet 27%, Lindis 21%, and the Chaugnar 18%. Huge shout out to Mr. Elefanto there. That is some crazy damage coming in. And Krixi, despite her inting, still did the most damage of the team. Definitely not too good of a performance by Hayate. I think he could do much more in a lot of these team fights, but he still had some very good ones. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, subscribe so you don't miss out on the grand final, and I will see you guys the next time. Peace out, boys. Bye bye.